to see.
Why not?
Because then we'll focus on that, not the cutting.
Well, I want to know how loud I'm talking.
This is fine. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ToeCast, the first actual episode. We recorded another episode, episode 0.
Episode 0.
Yeah, and
oh, man.
where we actually, that's how we got the name for the ToeCast.
Yes.
It's from that. So maybe it'll get released sometime when we actually figure out how to work this. But for now, we're just using this. So since this is the first episode, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Kat.
Nice. Anything else?
Co-producer of ToeCast.
What are your interests?
My interests include coffee.
Right.
Physics, I suppose.
Wrong. Right.
And, the
general tomfoolery.
That's generally what I do.
Nice. Well, I'm Baylee. I like, anime.
No.
I like, K-pop.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That I'm very one-dimensional.
Sums it up.
I like flannels. We both really like flannels.
That's true.
So maybe, why don't we talk about your flannels that you just got?
Yeah, I just got 2 new flannels.
Tell us the story. What do they look like?
One is green and blue flannel.
Nice.
It's just mostly green. And the other one is like dark red and gray checkered.
And I have
flannel.
that one too.
They're matching.
We match.
We bought them together.
There yes. If you were wondering, well, I guess it's past Valentine's Day now. But if you want a gift for your significant other, might I suggest a flannel? They're comfy. They can't see when you do that face.
Well, it's implied.
Nice, a vicious drop. I also got a blue flannel. That's pretty much all I wear now.
Yeah, well,
flannels
but
and
you had
t-shirts.
flannels previous to those
It's
2
true.
new flannels. I didn't.
I probably have about 7, 8 different flannels.
I have 2 flannel.
But you want more.
Yes.
Nice.
I actually just want to go back to the mall and get the same.
I want to go back to the mall.
same flannels.
Let's go
just
back to the
different
mall.
Colors.
Let's go with. Let's talk about our
Oh no, Nicholas.
no, don't say his name.
His name was Nicholas on Lyft.
No.
He has a dead stare.
He was a fine driver.
Was he?
We didn't die.
That's true.
Just gotta be something said for that.
When we went to get into the car, I like banged my knee on the outside of it, and it hurt really bad. But I didn't say anything because I didn't want him to make me pay for the damages to his car.
Did you?
So I was just like,
did you dent his car?
No, I don't think so. But it was dark by the time we got out of the car, so I didn't know for sure.
Oh my gosh! I took a Lyft this morning. And I took several today, but this was the first of the ones I took today, and I like open the door and I get in the back, and for some reason the front seat is like all the way back, and usually I'd be like,
you need leg space, right?
I got big old, long legs, and I just had to sit with my knee scrunched, and it's really sad.
Should have just told him to scoot a seat on forward.
I had my headphones in. I didn't really want to talk. I didn't know where I was going.
I hate that.
Oh.
Are you part of a sorority?
I actually did have a nice conversation with 2 other guys because I was out looking at apartments today, and I don't know, one of them was just telling me about it, and he was telling me about how his daughter went to Europe, and I said, I've been to Europe, and yeah. We had a good conversation about that.
That's pretty good.
I also got really car sick.
Oh.
So, like, my stomach has been hurting, like, all day.
That's pretty good. I only get car sick on windy roads.
Really?
But when I do, I throw up like all hell.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I get car sick, like, so easily. Like, because for those of you who don't know, which is most of you, I have, like, a terrible fear of vomit. To the point where, like, I had to change my major because I hated it so much. But So when I was like younger, I would get so afraid of other people getting car sick and vomiting that I would make myself sick worrying about it. And then I guess my body just is like, whenever we're in a car, we have to get sick unless my parents are driving.
That's
never
awful.
get car sick when my parents are driving, but whenever other people drive, it's hell.
That's weird.
For me.
Maybe it's just nervousness.
I think it is.
Nervous dog.
I was like so nervous going and looking at apartments just because I was by myself and I was with middle-aged men driving me around. But yeah, that's probably half of it. And I'm like, nobody else is in the car with me. Nobody else is gonna throw up.
True.
I might throw up.
If you throw up, just open the pocket that's on the back of the seat and throw up into the...
Just let it dribble through the...
Yeah. They won't notice until you're gone.
Right. They'll be like, crap. And then I gave him $1 tip.
Very nice.
But I actually had a moment where I was at one of the apartment complexes and I was like ready to go home. Home. And I was like pulling out my app, and we're not sponsored by Lyft, by the way. We just take it a lot. I don't know.
The adventures of Lyft.
I've heard it's better than Uber. But anyways, I had my phone out and I was like requesting a Lyft, and then the app said that my payment method wasn't working, and I'm like, okay, it probably means I don't have any money in my account. So I just like transferred some money over and used it again, and it still for like 5 minutes said that my payment wasn't working. And so I stood in that parking lot of the apartment for 5 minutes.
I would have started walking out of nervousness.
Oh my god, I almost did.
I would have been thinking, oh, these people are just watching me stand here. I gotta get out of here.
No, I stood out of eye shot.
I would have hightailed it.
I almost started walking. But what I did is I started downloading the Uber app. Because I was like, if Lyft won't work, then Uber will. And but then like right as it downloaded, the Lyft app started working again, and I was able to
sense the competition.
Get out of there. And then the guy that picked me up like drove around the it did sense the competition. Nice. But the guy that picked me up drove me around the entire, or he didn't drive me before he picked me up. Drove around the entire apartment complex before.
Oh my.
And so
he
I was
see
like,
I was giant pink-haired weave out in the middle of the parking lot.
My hair's not that pink.
You probably looked out of place though.
I I got my flannel on. I looked really cold. It was cold today.
Yeah. It's been cold.
Oh my gosh. Snowed yesterday.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I was wearing my flannel when it snowed.
I was too!
And I walked into physics lecture just drenched. I had to take it off.
I was just sweating so
pretty
much.
Good.
But yeah, so that was my scary Uber. Well, it wasn't that scary. I was scared. I thought I was gonna have to like call my roommate and be like, "Hey, come pick me up." But I didn't have to do that. What if I called you? What would you do?
I'd run over there, tell you to stop being such a baby. It's not that far. We can walk.
It was pretty far.
Where is it?
It's Overland Road.
Now people know where we live.
There's a bazillion of Overland Roads. I've been really careful not to say.
That's on Overland?
Yeah. It's out there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm hoping, because my parents are like, if you look at apartments farther away from the place I live now, it'll be cheaper. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, well...
Then you need a car, though.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
My mom was like, you pretty much just, you need transportation, right? And I'm like, yeah, because I don't want to spend $10 every time I have to get to class and have to take a lift.
True.
Or
you could just
whatever.
walk or bike. Biking
it's so
would be pretty
far,
easy.
though. Biking, it's like a 20-minute bike ride along a main street.
No.
Shut up. All right. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I don't know what ToeCast talks about. It's the main issue.
How was your day today?
It was alright. It was decent. I had a calculus test at 4:30, but I didn't have class until 3. So I told myself, you're gonna study until then.
Oh god. Yeah, you wouldn't come look at apartments with me.
Yeah, I wasn't studying.
Oh my god.
I was busy eating a pound of chocolate and listening to another podcast.
I knew you weren't. I was like, she's not studying at 11 a.m.
and
for a 4 o'clock test.
Reading my magazine. I did do a couple problems, to be fair.
Like
here
2.
and there. The easy ones that I knew how to do, though.
You did some derivatives?
I actually did antiderivatives.
Nice. Alright.
And we're back.
Sorry, I had some technical difficulties, but I think we got it all figured out. Yes. So, one topic that Kat wanted me to talk about was the fact that, so this summer...
You put someone in the ground.
Okay, well, can I set the scene, please?
Sure.
Alright, thank you. Well, this summer, I worked for the Parks Department in my hometown, and... had a great time. I loved it. Did clean up some baseball fields.
Burials.
It only happened once, but we do have a cemetery in our town. And so one of yeah, shut up. One of the days, the guys that usually do the funerals, well, is it a funeral? Like, is that the ceremony that's like at the grave? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It's like a memorial.
A burial?
Maybe
a funeral.
We had a term for it. I can't remember what it is. But the guys that usually do it were doing another job. And so me and my boss had to go do it instead. So we had to set up, which means like put down some wood on like a floor and then cover it with like a fake turf grass and set up benches so that people could have like a moment with the cremated you're giving me funny looks.
Well, it's more elaborate than you made it sound. Like, it sounded like you just walked out into the middle of the park, dug a hole, and set the ashes in it.
No.
And now I'm hearing that you've completely set up.
Yeah, I left
buried.
I left some stuff out because I wanted to make it good for the podcast. And I wanted you to be surprised. But anyway, so we like set our stuff up, and then probably the best part was the fact that we just like sat in a truck not 15 like feet away from where they were having the burial, and just like watched them we watched them have a ceremony. And there's like a guy there who I thought was really cute over the summer. He was like the mower of the cemetery. Like, that was
he was at the funeral.
No, well, he was in the cemetery.
Well, sure, but
so
he was
there
for the funeral.
Oh, no. So we were all hanging out, him, my boss, and me, and waiting for this funeral to be done. So we're kind of like, okay, everybody, like, time to
wrap it up.
Come on, time to dig in. And then we had to put the pot in the ground and cover it up with it. When you put it like that. And then we, put it in the ground with all the flowers and stuff.
Did all the people that were at the funeral watch as you slowly place the pot in the ground?
No. We did it.
I'd be pretty upset, to be honest.
Why?
I had to watch you.
What did you think was going to happen to the pot?
I don't know.
Not going
Well, usually at funerals they get those little straps. They put whatever, remains on the straps. They lower them into the ground.
Well, you should see when they have a coffin. We just did like a little vase with like cremations in it. But when they have a coffin, they have to bring in like a forklift.
Yeah. And
like lower. That's probably more what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
But we waited until they were all gone, and then we put the ashes in the ground, and then we covered it up with we put all the flowers that the people brought in the ground with them. And,
interesting.
Yeah. And then we tore it all down, and I just remember we had to there was like a canopy, but it was made of like metal, so we couldn't like shrink it down like those canopies you see at like
the
baseball
plastic
games
ones.
And stuff like that. Yeah, and so my boss.
I can't tell you how many of those I've set up in my life.
But my boss had to like strap it on the back of a gator, and I just had to like push it and like lead it along, and.
Now I don't know what a gator is in this.
My boss hops on an actual alligator, says "Giddy up." Gator's like a
chomp chomp.
It's like a 4-wheeler with like a small like truck bed kind of. It's like when you need a job for like when you don't have enough room for a truck in a certain job, but you
get your gator out.
Yeah. You go, come on, gator, let's go for a play.
Oh boy.
And then I had to like lead the canopy back into the locked area, and then that was that.
That sounds awful.
But it's like, it's actually kind of sad, because when I was talking about, like before I did this one with, I was talking about like when the other guys that I worked with would do funerals, and they'd be like, yeah, I just kind of walked through the cemetery and I'm like, buried that guy. I remember doing that guy's funeral. And I'm just like, that's terrible.
That is pretty awful.
That's awful. But yeah, that was the day I laid someone to rest.
I've never buried a person before.
I don't believe you.
I buried a dog.
Oh God, what?
Well, my dog, not just a random dog.
You buried him in
not
sand
someone else's dog. I mean, you buried someone else's person, but see, I buried my own dog.
Was it the whole dog, or was it?
It was the whole dog. It was like hours after they had put the shot in him.
Oh my God! See, when my dog,
throw her on in there.
when my dear Sadie was put to sleep in November, I think. My dad says that he buried her in the backyard, but my mom like refuses to believe it. He's like, yeah, I had them, because then you have to like bring the dog home, and our vet is like 20 minutes away, so you go drive 20 minutes
dead
with
dog
the
in your
dog
car for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then you gotta dig the hole in the back. And
that's what we did.
Oh,
yeah. God. You know, you got the body. My mom, it was a wiener dog. His name was Dickie. And I got home and I was like, I see this lump underneath my favorite blanket.
Oh my God.
And I goes, is that him?
No!
She's like, yep.
That's
you couldn't have used a different blanket, Mom. So, yeah, I also buried my favorite blanket that day, along with the dog.
I thought you like didn't take that blanket, go curl up, go to sleep with it.
No, and then we planted flowers over the top of it.
Well, that's sweet.
I guess it's fine. I
don't really know
feel
anymore.
A lot
I mean, I'm dead inside, so nice. Well, my brother buried his hamster once. It's in a box, though. We buried the box.
Yeah, you gotta put those in the box. My friend used to have a hamster, and she went on vacation once, and it was the most sickly hamster I had ever seen. And she asked me, hey, can you watch my hamster? And I go, sure. And she's like, okay, you have to dip him in his medication twice daily. Yeah, well, it's a hamster, right? So it's the size of an egg roll. So you dunk him in. You pour out some medicine in a bowl, you dip it in there like a little dumpling. Then you throw it back in its cage.
Say I baptize you in the name of medicine. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Why can't you just put it in his water thing and he'll drink it up?
It was a topical.
Oh, it was
like
drink
it. Yeah, it was an oil. It had some sort of like surgery on the bottom of its stomach or something like that.
So you did you dip the whole thing in, or just like the top?
It was like, if you look at a hamster from the side, just the bottom half. So the stomach and the legs.
Oh, so you kind of held them from the top?
If it's standing how it normally stands.
Okay.
Just the bottom half.
Alright. Nice.
Yeah, you never dip an egg roll that way. You wouldn't dip the whole egg roll the long way. But that's how you had to dip the hamster.
That's weird. Nice.
His name was Hammy. Rip.
Wow. Rip. Pouring out for my brother Hammy. Well, I have another topic that we should talk about because it's going to come up sooner or later. Mm-hmm. Much like the fact that I buried someone over the summer.
Alright.
But, Kat and I...
Oh no.
Also, freshman year
Don't say
of college, played rugby for 2 months.
No.
With our school that we're not going to name. But we did it.
Oh man.
And I'd just like to say, one of the best times of my life.
Without a doubt. I still dream of it every night.
Oh my god. Do you want to set the stage for us, Kat?
No.
Like,
I just gotta wash my hands.
We gotta let the viewers know. How did this come to be?
It all started off with an email that said, "Hi, my name is Kat."
No. It said, "Hi, my name is Catherine, but my friends call me Kat."
Yes.
And then I come to find out
Kat too, if you like. Then you have to be my friend.
Well, then I come to find out that you weren't even called Kat. You were called Katie by your parents.
As in elementary school, so as a very young child.
You're still called Katie by your parents.
Yeah, but
it freaks me out.
It is weird. I don't enjoy it. Well, their reasoning is they named me Catherine as my full name.
They call you Catherine.
Yeah, and they said, "Oh, we just wanted to call you Katie." And I'm like, "Then name me Katie." It's not that hard.
You dingus. Okay, well we're getting off topic. Don't try and divert the subject, but I'd say it started, I guess, when we were moving in, and I was like, "Hey, I really want to do rugby." Because
and I was secretly thinking the same thing
before we met each other.
Yes, but I didn't tell anybody because I thought it would have been weird. My plan was to scope out the team, figure out their meeting times, and then just show up on my own.
Wow. Yeah. And you didn't even have to.
True.
We went together.
Yep.
But I said something to you, and you're like, "Yeah, I want to do it too," and because I'm a big football fan. So I was like, rugby's like the same thing, if not more hardcore.
Oh, God.
Which it's not the same thing at all. They're not even
But comparable. It is more hardcore.
I would say, well, they're different.
Well, football has padding.
I've also never played football.
Rugby does not.
Yeah, but you can hit harder, and it's usually more unsafe to hit in football.
Because they do it wrong, though.
Exactly.
I mean, they're just throwing their...
So is it hardcore if they're doing it wrong and there's a higher chance of dying? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me stupid man's rugby. But anyways, I was like, yeah, this seems more hardcore, and I'll be cool for this. Because there was a girl that went to my high school that did it, and I thought she was really cool, and so I'm like, I want to do it too. And so we go to the... What did we go to? The recreational fair? I wrote my name down?
Well, you did. And
you didn't go?
No, I don't think I was there. Oh. I just remember you coming back to our dorm and telling me.
I have information. Yeah, and we signed up, and we showed up at the first practice, and...
Oh, man.
Everyone was really confused why we didn't have cleats. Yep. Also, why we didn't know how to play rugby at all.
Yes.
And to
be fair, there were maybe 12 girls on the team at that point.
Yeah, and I think 4 of us hadn't played.
Us.
Oh yeah, including us.
Yeah.
And 4 of us hadn't played before.
And I'd say half the team was just awful.
Even the girls that
were new, but
we were actually better than the people who played. No, we weren't. But our coach just kept telling us, like, "Hey, we'll learn as we go." But then he'd tell us to do something like, he'd say, like, ruck. I remember that. He'd be like, "Okay, we're going to practice rucking." And I'm like, "The fuck is a ruck?" And he's like, "Oh, we'll just learn as we go." And I'm like, "I have no idea what this is. Like, you don't understand. I am a baby when it comes to this game."
So, like, we just, I mean, you hear coach yell, "Run!" So you start running, and then you hear, "What are you doing?"
I heard that so much.
Oh.
The first week, and we practiced outside, and we got cleats. We went on into. I think this was a real bonding moment for us.
Oh,
because we went and got cleats, and then
we hiked on downtown.
Did we? No, we
went downtown.
Katie took us in her car.
No,
to Fred Meyer.
I bought my cleats downtown.
Oh,
because I got big feet.
You did.
And I had to go to the...
Yeah, but we got our mouth guards at Fred Meyer.
No, we got our mouth guards downtown. No, we got our socks downtown.
We got our socks downtown. Yeah. I remember that. But we got all our stuff. We
boiled our mouth guards.
Yeah, that was probably like real bonding.
That was awful.
in our dirty dorm kitchen. And we were ready to go, and then I remember we started practicing in this indoor facility, and like the first day we practiced there, the football team was trying to get ready to go down to the south to play
Louisiana
down there. Yeah, Louisiana, where it was like really hot, and they cranked the humidity and were like spraying water the entire day to like get them acclimated acclimated to, like, playing football in the humidity. And then we had to go and practice that afternoon, and we're just, like, sweating buckets.
It was like playing rugby in a hot yoga studio. I thought I was dying.
I have never sweat that much.
No.
And, like, everybody's just shirts are drenched. Nobody wants to tackle each other.
Yeah.
And
well, you slide right off each other is the issue.
You just slip right on through.
We couldn't scrum down because you just slip right out of the scrum.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to...
No.
Let's define... Because we're throwing around these rugby terms. Like, ruck.
We'll learn as we go.
Okay.
So.
All right. Okay. Right. Good old coach. Good dude. And then our first game comes around. And Kat and I are both terrified because we still I didn't know how to score.
We had never played a game of rugby before.
Even in
that
practice.
First game. Even at practice,
right.
We had done drills.
Right. And, like, I just remember that morning viciously looking up, how do you score in rugby? Because I had no idea.
Yeah, I remember trying to watch a game on YouTube, but
That's what all the girls were telling us, like, watch games. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
I'd make it to the point where they do their dance.
Oh, what's that called?
Like haka dance?
Haka, that's what it is.
And
we never did a haka. I was really mad.
I would, because I don't have a huge attention span, so I'd get to that point and I'd be like, okay, that was
this
pretty
is like
cool.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I'm done. I'm done watching this.
But then we got breakfast downtown.
Oh, that was our first game, was it?
Yeah, it was the first game. Because we were both...
We did that for the other game, too, though.
We did that for a couple games.
Yeah, okay.
Just because we were both... we had to get up early.
Yeah.
Why did we have to get up?
Because it was early in the morning. The coach told us to be on the field, like, 2 hours early.
Oh, and... Oh, the cafeteria wasn't open. And that's why we went out to breakfast.
And we had to set up the field goal things ourselves, almost get tetanus.
Oh, those concrete slabs.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
They were metal barrels filled with concrete with a PVC pipe in the middle so that you could stick the post in it.
The best part was getting breakfast. But we were both so nervous. I couldn't eat. Hardly. I mean, I did eat.
I could eat the first game, but that other game that we played...
Where I didn't play it. We'll get there. We'll get there. We're starting with the first game. But we had... So we show up to the game, we set up with those concrete slabs. Mm-hmm. And then I learned that they don't give us our jerseys until... like approximately 30 seconds before you're supposed to run on the field.
Our coach didn't give us the jerseys until
our coach was
approximately 30 seconds.
Gross man.
He was.
And so we're all
let's describe his grossness though. He was about 40, I would say, who still played with a college rugby team of boys.
He's the human epitome of a naked moron.
I was gonna say like a duck.
A naked duck.
A naked duck.
Like if you took a duck and like plucked all its feathers out.
Yeah.
And then threw a ball cap on him. That was our rugby
Put a little notebook in its beak, slapped its ass, and get out on the field, duck.
It's so true. Yeah, so he was great. And well, I didn't know that our jersey numbers corresponded to what positions we played, unless you were after number 16. Well, I
thought it was just like a ranking of the coach's favorites. You know, like
that's how all jerseys are.
The lower numbers were the better ones, and then I was number 16. So I was like,
nice.
It's clear where I stand.
I don't remember what number it was. I was around there because I was not very good either. But we had 14 girls playing 15s for our first
and I was number 16. So.
That's amazing. But yeah, so we had 14 girls playing 15s against the number one. I don't remember what division we were playing, but
we weren't part of a division.
We were playing a college that was very good.
Like Division 1.
Yeah. And just got obliterated. I don't think we scored.
Well, when you have 14 people
who don't know how to play.
It's their first rugby game. The stamina is not doing so great.
I was so tired.
Yeah. I died 1,000 deaths that game.
Same. Well, then our next game was probably a deal breaker for me. You didn't go, which made me sad. And so I had to get up at the butt crack of dawn, hop in a Chevy Escalade, and drive 4 hours to get to the place where we were playing, because we were a club team with our school, so we were pretty much to our own devices when it came to transportation, which meant
we were to our own devices on everything.
Yeah.
Because the girl who was the president of the team was a freshman. Nobody else had been there for very long, and the coach hated us.
No, they didn't have a team. This was like their first year of actually having a team.
Yeah.
Which, props to them, I'd say.
Well, props to us.
We built this. We were founders.
That's true.
We were founders, honestly. Yeah. We start, the rugby team's not doing too bad now. I think they have a lot of 16, 17 girls right now.
They have enough people that they can...
Sub.
Yeah, they can sub and they can start, weeding out the bad ones.
Right. Not playing them.
That's why we can't play anymore.
Yeah, because we wouldn't actually play.
There's no rejoining the team. Because we're not grandfathered in at this point.
Right.
It's like when you bought Netflix when it was $7, and you're like, this is fine, but it was still shitty because it was new.
Right.
So you canceled your subscription, and then it got popular, you bought Netflix again, and you weren't grandfathered in.
Oh, God.
Now it's about $13.
I'm living that.
That's what happened on the rugby team.
Oh, God. It was awful. But the second game, we were away, and I experienced the terrifying nature that is freshmen in college girls driving 7 other girls 4+ hours in a car that they have never driven before.
Yes.
I was terrified the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
And we were late to the game, and we ended up beating that was our first win, I think. Because the other team forfeit, because they all got injured.
Yeah, too many injuries.
Yeah. So that was the last rugby game I ever played in.
I'd call that a success.
Yeah.
I feel like that's, borderline.
We came, we saw, rugby. We conquered.
Exactly.
And I saw, I conquered, I came. And then after that, I started getting really bad headaches, so I wasn't playing anymore. But Kat was still playing.
Yes. Now, I'm trying to remember, because you got your headaches, and that was around the time that I began to get a kidney stone.
I remember. Yeah, it was around that time.
And so I went to practice one day, and it was Scrum day, We're gonna be in the Scrum all day. We're gonna learn how to Scrum.
Explain the Scrum.
Real good.
Explain Scrum.
It's about 2 to 3 rows of girls just locked head to crotch. Against another group of 2 to 3 rows of girls locked head to crotch.
That makes sense.
You basically push. It's
you kind of make
a lot like giving birth.
Those
on your hands and
lattice toppings on an apple pie.
Yeah.
Like that with people. And you're just kind of pushing at each other. And nothing moves.
Yeah. So I was just head deep in that Scrum. Because I was right in the middle. We played second row because we were terrible.
We were dead weight at that point.
Yes. We were in the middle to push. Be pushed on and get the ball out of the Scrum.
The really good people were either at the back or they were the props or the hook.
Yeah.
And we were plum in the Scrum, as I like to say. So you were there for Scrum Day when I was not there.
Yep, and so we were pushing against the Scrum sled. And
which is like a tackle sled for football fans.
Yep. And I was just in there, and I just remember this nausea came over me like no other. And
so it developed at rugby?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I knew I had the kidney stone.
Oh, but you hadn't felt anything. You got those shots in your butt.
I got shots in the ass, so I was doing just fine.
Don't cry for me.
Yeah, don't cry for me. And so I was like, maybe rugby practice will, push the stone out. And
like a shot.
I did.
Was it at that practice?
It was at that practice, because I was in the middle of the Scrum, and that nausea came over me, and I tore myself out.
You picked yourself up. Your Scrum hair was everywhere. It
was all over.
You plucked your head out of 2 sweaty girls' thighs.
I had to fight my way out of that Scrum.
You're like, get me out, please.
And so I run past the coach, and I looked at him, and I said, I gotta go to the bathroom. Knowing that I had brought my kidney stone strainer for this express purpose.
You brought it with you?
Yeah. To catch the stone.
And our bald, duck-lipped baseball cap wearing guy of a coach said, all right.
He didn't say anything, actually.
He didn't even look at you.
He glared at me. And so I kept running. Straight into the bathroom.
Peeing into me strainer.
I peed into me strainer. And out it pops.
I remember getting the text.
Yeah.
Actually, you didn't text me. You texted our roommate.
Yeah.
And she told me that you passed your kidney stone at practice, and I fell out of my bed laughing. My mom thought I was really mean for that. I was so describe relieved. I've heard this story before, but the way you just describe it in detail is fantastic.
It looks like a tiny crystalline goat head.
Ew.
So I wrap it up in my strainer because I'm not letting that thing go just yet.
For science.
I'm not done with you yet. Kidney stone. And I run back out onto the field, at which point practice is pretty much over. Or there's enough people standing on the side that I walk over to them and show them my...
You did?
My newfound stone, yeah. I write in the strainer.
Oh my...
Yeah.
You're like, I peed in this.
I just passed a kidney stone, look.
What did they say?
They said, oh my god.
Oh my god.
They were... I mean, it was rugby, so they weren't too impressed. Just because of all the injuries that are...
Yeah, that's true.
Associated with
Unless you show up wearing high-heeled Timbs, you better bring something bigger to the table.
Oh, yeah. And the coach was still pretty spicy at me.
Did you show him?
Blatantly spicy, and I look at him, I go, I just passed a kidney stone. Doesn't say anything, ignored. I'm like, okay, this is fine.
He didn't believe you, right?
Yeah, no, he didn't believe me.
What?
Yeah.
You're like, it's in the strainer, and then you dump the stone on his head.
I would.
It slides right off.
I should have flicked it right into his mouth.
Ew! This was in my urethra.
I kept it and put it in a Ziploc bag. And,
I remember that.
Hung it on my wall.
It was gross. Do you still have it?
I did, but I think I threw it away because it got broken. It wasn't as cool.
It was like a dust.
Yeah, it was dusty.
Yeah. You just blow it in someone's hand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting. But then you played in another game, though.
Yes.
It was a game here.
Yes.
We
both went to breakfast.
Yes, we both went to breakfast because I felt bad. No, I didn't play because I was still having headaches.
Well, and
I didn't play after the second game.
The thing about this game was I had just gotten my tongue pierced.
Oh,
so I could barely eat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was having soup for breakfast.
I remember that.
And so it was just awful.
I just burped up a cookie. Ow.
Yeah. And I got to the game. I could barely fit that mouth guard in my mouth because my tongue was so swollen.
Oh, no. Did you get it done, the day before the game?
It was the night before. Oh, my God. It had been
You got it done during the day, though, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember you coming back in the dorm and you're like, hey, look what I got. You stuck out, you zerberted a raspberry. You went,
there she blows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
But nonetheless, it had still probably been 12 hours because it was more towards night and that game was
in the morning.
Pretty darn early again.
Right.
And I could barely get that mouth guard in and I was just so worried because you're not supposed to have jewelry in the game. So I was just trying to close my mouth.
That makes sense.
Desperately trying to close my mouth. That was painful.
Oh, God. And that was the last game you played in, right?
Yes.
So we both played in 2 games. I started going to practice again, but I just got so nervous with the away games that I just couldn't do it.
Well, and I went to a couple practices after that, too. But the final straw was... Oh, okay, I guess there were 2 final straws. One was pretty funny, the other is still spicy to this day.
Oh my God.
One, my coach made me tackle him.
Oh.
And 2, I dropped the ball once, and he went, Kat, do you know how to catch a ball? I said, no.
Catch a ball. Forgot about that. Oh my God. The final straw for me was probably... Yeah, just being up late at night, anxious that I was going to die on the car ride up, which you went to an away game, but didn't play.
Right, because
you experienced it.
I had just passed my kidney stone, but I had also paid $200 in club fees, so I was pretty darn sore, but not $200 sore.
Yeah.
So I I went on the trip for funsies.
There you go.
And also to be water girl.
Yeah. So you experienced the near deathness.
Well, and we almost did die on the freeway.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. Don't let freshmen drive big old cars.
The first time was because there was just this flash flood while we were on a highway.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
To the point where we didn't know if pulling over was better than just
keep going. Oh God, I hate rain. It was
so bad. I mean, we couldn't see. Ugh. And probably the only reason why we survived is because it was a 2-lane highway and we were the only people out there because it was the middle of nowhere. Mm. And then the other time we were trying to get on the off ramp and almost rear-ended someone.
Mm. Classic.
At like 60, 70 miles an hour.
Oh my God. Yeah, so that was I remember getting mad at you though because you didn't tell the coach when you quit. And
well, you gotta fade out.
Yeah. Well, because when I was in high school, my parents were always like, you gotta like let your coach know when you're gonna quit. Like you have to go up and do like the manly thing.
Yeah.
And so I was still playing, and I was like, why didn't you like go tell him? And you're like, because he doesn't deserve our respect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my main philosophy.
My main velocity is
about 20 miles an hour. I'm pretty fast.
I was hoping you'd say that.
No, my main philosophy is I don't owe anyone shit unless we go way back.
You owe me $20. You know,
except for you, I owe you $20. $1 for every mile per hour I go.
Yeah, okay.
So and this coach in particular was just so mean.
He was just spicy.
He mostly didn't talk to me, so
he was pretty rude.
I felt that, you know,
just fade out.
Just fade out.
Yeah. Well, and then I tried to tell him that I was having migraines and I didn't really feel comfortable playing, and he's like, "Oh, just stop having headaches." And I'm like, And at that moment, I knew that Lara was. Oh no, you know what the moment was? Is I texted him. I think the day after I decided I was gonna quit, and I was like, "Hey, I really don't think this is gonna work out." Like, I probably still have the Facebook message.
Oh.
It's a Facebook message.
Oh, yeah.
Which was worse because I saw that he saw it and didn't respond. Like, to this day, he hasn't responded. And I'm like, you asshole.
Yeah.
And, like, even the president of our team, like, reached out to me and was like, hey, what's up? Yeah. Like, where are you? Kat didn't get that text.
No, I didn't.
I got yelled at.
Again, I was number 16, so.
Yeah, but I was not, like, much better than you were.
I would say that you were definitely coherent during practices.
Oh, during practices?
Yeah.
We'll see. But she, like, texted me and she's like, well, next time don't just, like, leave. And I'm like, well, when the coach is an asshat, I'm not gonna give him the respect. And my life has sincerely improved.
Also severely.
Also, I guess it was pretty severe also. Improved since quitting rugby. It's probably one of the best decisions I've made being in college.
See, I'd still like to be on some sort of team sport.
Do it else.
But at the same time, I don't have time for that.
Right. It's, you know, when you're a freshman and you're just starting out, you think it's a great way to get involved, but you're in a new world. Like, you're taking harder classes than high school. You need to focus on that first and then do more involved stuff.
To be fair, it would have been a great way to get involved.
That is
had
true.
You not quit. Because rugby teams are tight.
Maybe a little too tight.
Well, Scrum's gotta be tight.
I feel like if I would have joined another team sport that was more about, I don't know,
less skill and more.
The reason that I guess that I would always tell people why I quit was the fact that my coach wanted varsity level commitment. And it was a club sport, and I was just there to
we were
have
paying
fun.
To be there.
Well, yeah, I was paying. I don't think I paid $200 because I didn't go.
About $200.
I paid like $50.
Damn.
You got cheated.
First of all, damn. No, I got a sweet trip.
That is true.
Out of state.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't get to go out of state. Yeah. But I'm like, if you wanted me to actually like give a shit about this sport, like you start paying for my college.
Yeah.
And then,
well, sure. Outside the designated hours, like practice hours. I don't know.
Oh, right. Yeah.
At practice, sure.
Yeah, at practice, like, they were Tuesday, Thursday. They were 2 hours.
Yeah, well, maybe
like,
even less than.
Probably less than. But, like, I can give you that in my time. I would make that time. But if he's telling us, hey, we're going to go work out on a Saturday, or I want you guys to start lifting.
Yeah.
No. Stop that. I'll lift when I want to.
That's true.
And, oh my God. I'm getting spicy just talking about it. But I think...
I'm not that spicy. I mean, it was a bad time. It was the worst of times, but it was also the best of times.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, man.
It was so awful, and we were both in it together, and it's hilarious.
I didn't that is true. Like, for months afterwards, even though for probably the next month after we quit, I would get, like, really bad feelings on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and we weren't even at practice.
Yeah.
That was probably the worst.
Well, and I was so giddy that I wasn't there, that life was beautiful.
That makes sense. But I forgot what I was going to say about rugby. But
hold on.
My thing is that when I was in high school, I was always yelled at to, like, get involved. And I guess it would probably have been worse for me if I wasn't, like, best friends with my roommates when I was a freshman.
Oh, yeah.
And actually needed to find other people. But I'm like, I already have friends. Like, I don't need to join an extra activity, which I don't really... I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of most of those girls.
They were pretty chill.
They were alright. But
I felt like I really bonded with them over that one trip.
Oh, okay. I didn't really. I never really felt like I was getting connected with them. Just because they all seemed a little too intense for me. I need a chill person.
You need to be the intense
one.
Also,
I really hate when people are like, you're so funny, why don't you talk? Which sounds really pretentious now that I just said it. But, like, when I hang out with you, like, you just laugh, and then you say funny stuff back, and I'm like, ha ha ha.
It's good time.
We feed off each other.
Yeah.
But that would happen on my basketball team. And I'm just like, you don't have to, like, say it out loud. Just laugh at the joke.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I never really, I guess, clicked with them. And I don't talk to any of them today. So.
Oh, God. Well, I don't willingly, but the other day I was minding my own business, and I see one of the players out of the corner of my eye. We wave. It's a good time. I go back, to whatever I was doing, and I feel this presence.
Oh my God.
And I look up, and her hands are on my shoulders, and I'm in her grips. She's got me. She's shaking me, and she says, "Coach is fired."
We all did a little Papa Bless at that moment.
Oh, yes.
So, if any girls want to try rugby, we would recommend it. Not under a coach that looks like a bald duck.
No, if your coach is weird or an asshole, see what you can do about getting a new coach.
Yeah. Because it's a cool... I wouldn't want to personally play it ever again. I think my time has passed. You want to play again.
I do, but at the same time, the injuries that are associated with it are just crazy.
Right.
But I do have tons of free time now.
That is
my main issue.
We should go I would watch it 100%.
Yeah. That's just not as fun, though.
I think it's just as fun.
You get sweaty.
You get into it, though.
I want to sweat.
Well, you can sweat while you're cheering.
Not as much.
You're not cheering hard enough if you're not sweating hard enough. I went to a boys' basketball game last night, and I was sweating.
Yeah, but you're always sweating.
She's right.
100% of the time.
Oh, my God. Well, let's see what our time is at. We're at about... I can't really tell, but I think it's been about half an hour. I've been looking at the time.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I've been looking at the time over there, but we spent about 20 minutes talking about rugby.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like everything needed to come out, because it's gonna come up again, because we spent the next several months.
Yeah.
I think that's when we really bonded. We just make fun of our coach.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he asked you to tackle him.
Oh, that was the cherry on top.
Yeah,
that was the cherry on top.
Awesome. But, so do you want to wrap up this ToeCast?
How do I?
You want to crack your toes?
All right, ToeCast. I can't do it tonight. My toes are too
cold. Oh,
there's one. There's two.
Oh, I heard ew.
And there's
okay,
three.
Well, we'll see you guys we'll see when the next episode comes out.
Yep.
But, okay, cool.
Bye, ToeCast.
Bye. Bye, what should we call it? Pointer?
Toes.
Toes. Bye, Toes.